If you ask any pilot, they will tell you that any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Pilots are trained to react quickly, especially in case of an emergency. But what happens when things go wrong when they're above a body of water? Throughout history, many gifted pilots have managed to do wonders with airliners. Today we are sharing interesting stories about two pilots who successfully landed in water and saved all lives on board. Before we begin, let's get to know something. The official term used to describe landing in water is actually ditching. Ditching is a measure of last resort, and modern aircrafts can indeed land on water. However, it depends on the way in which the plane is flown onto the water. The speed, water state, and the aircraft pitch or roll can all have a massive effect. You need preferably flat water and a well-controlled descent or ditching to have a positive outcome. The first ever successful ditching of an airplane was executed in 1956. The Boeing 377 Stratocruiser was a 4-engine aircraft so big and luxurious it was called the ocean liner of the sky. The Pan Am Flight 6, carrying 24 passengers and 7 crew members, was supposed to be an around-the-world airline flight. On the evening of October 15, 1956, the flight left Honolulu, which was supposed to be its last takeoff to arrive in San Francisco. Unfortunately, halfway through the journey, when the flight was gaining altitude, one of the 4 engines failed. As pilots were trying to maintain altitude, engine number 4 also failed. Despite this, the pilots used the 2 remaining engines to maintain an altitude of 5,000 feet. Things, however, turned for the worst when the low fuel lights started going off. The flight did not have enough fuel to reach San Francisco or to turn around and land in Honolulu. Ditching was the only viable option. The pilots waited until dawn for better visibility. However, they had to ensure that they ditched the aircraft exactly in between 2 waves. The pilots also had to land perpendicular to the direction of the wind. If the aircraft landed on a wave, then it would break in half. At 6:15 a.m. local time on October 16, 1956, the Stratocruiser ditched at an airspeed of approximately 90 knots. Although the water was relatively calm during the ditching, the left wing hit a swell, spinning the aircraft to the left. The fuselage split into 2 on impact, and the aircraft started to sink. In less than 17 minutes, the entire aircraft sank to the bottom of the ocean. Thankfully, the U.S. Coast Guard was aware of the situation and were standing by to assist the crew as well as the passengers. Despite the damage sustained by the aircraft, all 31 people on board survived without major injuries. 3 minutes after the rescue operation was completed, the aircraft sank completely. The pilots were not only heroes, but they had also accomplished something that had never been done before. But they are not the only ones who managed to pull such a stunt and save all lives on board. Another well-known example is the Miracle on the Hudson. On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger and his crew took off from New York City's LaGuardia Airport. Soon after takeoff, the airliner had an unlucky encounter with a flock of geese. The aircraft lost all engine power, causing it to descend above northeast of the George Washington Bridge. Unable to reach any airport, pilots Chelsea Sullenberger and Jeffrey Skiles glided the plane away from the densely populated area and into the Hudson River. Despite the odds against them, they managed to ditch the aircraft into the Hudson River, saving all 155 passengers and crew aboard. Here's footage captured by the U.S. Coast Guard. Both pilots also stayed behind until they were sure that all passengers were safely off the aircraft. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel.